Okay, so this is what I am working with here. I'll show stats on it. 64 ascension levels. Decent attack. Junk magic. Good defense. Good resistance. All that good stuff. 153,000 ward. And everything there. The whole business. That's the whole loadout. All the spells. Simple. Just little to nothing. Don't even know why Ice Affinity is in there, honestly. But I did one floor here. Did the floor. But I'll kill the tower guards. This is 20 ascension levels. Can definitely be done up. I have that Rift Rogue chest piece. Is definitely for the accuracy bonus. It helps out Selene a lot. Definitely already did floor 1. Kelpie, not too bad. They can definitely be a pain, but they are not one of the dangerous bunches. Not to mention they are weak to light damage, so, or dark damage. Lunar Strike slaps them. These guys, not really much. You can get hit with a good high penetration verse from them. Any of the Risen Gods, really not that big of a deal. Like I said, that accuracy bonus helps with the water and earth ones. I had heard recently that if you can, that pet AI will favor the higher of magic and attack, which is one of those reasons that I am running an axe. I always saw higher ward and more attack to be favorable. A lot of your farming is done with gay cactus. Of course, these guys are just boneheads. Once you get full buffs up, this is one of the bad guys. So Nidhogg is definitely one of those ones that you need to take extra precaution, and it is definitely not a bad thing to, if you're losing, be a spoiled sport and leave. Come back to the fight if need be. Good RNG is super important, and these guys can be pretty mean. Sometimes a good bastion is definitely the way to go. What I'm witnessing on this one is I haven't got a deific channel proc yet, which would be really nice. There we go. It definitely helps you out. And then he comes through with that. Sometimes it's good to try a Ward of Ortonite to get yourself back up, but either way, this is another one of those bad ones coming through real early. So when you get all your buffs and everything, it's good to, favor fighting these guys more when you have all of your treasure chest buffs and such. Oh, would you look at that? Another thing too, make sure you keep it heavy on the panaceas, stuff like that. If you gotta do it, it's worth it. These guys really ain't too bad. They have high HP, but not too difficult to do. Got me some temporary earth immune. What a useful thing. And yeah, these guys, super easy to deal with. These guys have one mob in them. I don't know if it's Gradlon. It's the lioness assassin. So a guy on the bottom there, he does have foresight high enough to move before you on turn 1. But most of the time they just either buff themselves or try to use debuffs on you. Got both? That's both. Next floor. Gear that buffs tower rewards when? Like I said, these guys are about the worst of it when it comes to the Arisen Gods. But 1 or 2 Rift Rogue pieces. I actually have some legs coming soon that might actually convince me to run Face Surtur's Curious and Rift Rogue head and legs just to see what kind of whatever I can get off of that. If it ends up being something nice. Oop, 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 oop. Dark Immune. Wow, it's giving me the exact backward stuff. Can't even see what he did. Hydras, they chill. Gosh, I suppose. These guys, one of the worst mobs. They can be uber annoying, but like I said, with that Rift Rogue equipment, definitely helps out a lot. The faster you get heavy hits out on them, the better. Make sure to take advantage of them panaceas. Of course, being asleep doesn't help me none. Wow. Yeah. It was super unfortunate that he chose to do that. As you can see, it hit almost everyone. Bastion spamming's not a bad idea with this. I definitely believe that I do have my... No, I have Garrison and Dryness, which is a amity for 4 ward turns. And like minus something on water resistance, something of the such. Whoops. Oh my gosh. Having a stroke there. These guys can reduce your damage quite well. But quite literally, you don't often need the attack buffs even. later on in Tower, when you start getting the majority of the temporary buffs, your need to buff attack and magic is slim. There's probably stuff here, yeah. A sealed door. No way, it's the same exact. Hey, look at that. Alright, Arisen Vulcans, easy peasy. Odin's, easy peasy. As you can tell, I don't really have any status effect protection. Mammons, these guys are not good. Foresight is not high enough at base to go before you, but if they did, that would damn near nullify anguish farming on towers all the way. Oh, that was not good. Yeah, you don't want to be hit by those guys much. They have really, really high penetration on their skills, so. Oh, way at the very end. There better not be more than one sealed door. I'd like to just get it done. Fallen Crescent Fencer is not bad, no high foresight. You get cursed and sleeped. The, what the hell do you call them? Not Grablon, these guys. Oh, get out. Risen King Melodus, or whatever his name is. Those are some of the worst. Not impossible, but some of the worst. Most of the time, I will actually, I'll start the battle with King Melodus and find out if they have the Lindworms with them. If they have Lindworms with them, exit the game and restart the battle until they don't have Lindworm with them. Super important information there. If they have Lindworm, there's more chance of the Lindworm casting Lion's Mark and Melodus actually doing Lion's Execution, which it will hit for 200 to 300,000 if the actual mob uses it and not the pet. So it is best that they don't have. It is still possible that one of them casts Mark and one of them casts Execution, but it is a lot less likely if they don't have Lindworm with them. Succubus is another one of those high foresight mobs. I have died on these guys before, but they are pretty good about trying to debuff you or buff themselves as opposed to attacking on turn 1. And they're not too bad. But like I said, Ward of Orknight on turn 1 is always your do it to it. Already on floor 10, not too bad. I guess there's some resistance. Those temporary resistance help a lot with the later farming or later battles, making them go a little smoother. Sure, I'll just Take every debuff I can afford, please. Thank you. Come on, dish it out, buddy. Ooh, what was that? Some Balder equipment. I enjoy making a fool out of myself with these things too. The big ones. Okay, so Mimic King. This is one of the other really bad, if you can avoid it situations. You've got Anubis is good at making you weak to things. The Mammon Alkalite, very dangerous. Nidhogg is notorious for sucking. And Confuse is something that definitely screws up these battles most of the time. Yeah, see, already just doesn't look good. Going with Fortitude. Normal, I have Deific Channel up though. Look at that. Yeah, sometimes these go better than other. I've definitely lost on those a fair amount. It's just is what it is. RNG sometimes is good to you, sometimes RNG is not good to you. What you just saw was quite lucky. Seeing that on a regular basis is not something that I'm going to sit and tell you is going to happen. I won't lie. Yeah, don't just... Once you get comfortable with this, you definitely get a lot less worried about angry mobs like this. Because see, even with all the buffs up, that hurt. That's a significant chunk, and if you are caught off guard without Ward of Ortonite and or a metric ton of defense and resistance, that will hoit. Can be quite unfun. These guys, not really the worst. The Arcanist skill can definitely hit and penetrate quite a bit. Immune. Alright, Zerk Gorgon can be a bad, not fun situation. These are definitely a questionable thing. What I have done in the past is tried negating the foresight with Lioness Crown. Lots of defense and resistance, loose ward, but actually gives you enough foresight to not go second. Go back, get you a Arisen Rift Rogue helmet. When I first started, actually, I was using the Lioness Crown consistently. Through this, it's just nice to have that little bit of extra ward to know you're not going to get chonked down as quickly. These guys, they're really not much of an issue. Quite swell, actually. It's fun to watch them do their thing. Alright, just to make sure we don't have any chests. Stone, all good. Risen Demeter, one of those other Mystic Feather mobs, can be annoying. Just hit them with your purse. like I said, that, what do you call it? Rift Rug pieces. They are the secret key to, once you have enough ascension levels, making selene just as efficient as cactus, which I can't say exactly as efficient as cactus, but at a certain point, the 7% accuracy bonus from Bestial Bond and the bonded dexterity definitely makes it to where it has more efficiency. But selene paired with 2 pieces of Rift Rogue armor is 10, which is 3% over. 3% over what you get out of cactus with the cactus. I just don't particularly find it necessary to remember what I was saying. Okay, good night. Love you too. Another mimicking. Let's see if this one goes just as swimmingly. Like I said, RNG, I haven't had a situation yet where I've had to back out and restart the battle for safety's sake. But it is definitely a thing you can do. One second, pause here. Sorry, quick bathroom break. Well, yeah. Yeah, and you definitely get those ones where you just pound through. Yeah, no extra buffs or anything like that. Okay, Infernal Bear. This is one of those ones that definitely needs talked about. So until later on when you get your foresight buffs and stuff like that, these guys are extremely dangerous. I can try with the Lioness Crown to see if that trumps their foresight, but I don't believe there's even a way to see it. Yeah, okay, so that definitely does trump their foresight. So Lioness Crown will stop you from getting turn 1 on those guys. And they're very powerful. They like to womp on you pretty hard. It's good to get a stun dart off on them. They are danger. I mean, I suppose it wouldn't be a bad idea to go through and just use the lioness crown until the time is right. And you get your foresight buffs up. I apologize about the slowness in my voice and responding time. So at that time, no, it's still Lioness Assassin. Lioness Assassin used buff on King Grabon. Good move, bud. Very, what do you call it? Very nice of him. Gratuitous. I'm just kidding, dude. I'm illiterate. Yeah, slap him. Poking and poking. You get trained. And alkali, I don't really see much of an issue with the rise of stats throughout the floors in the tower. Ooh, here we get to go to one of the mobs that I absolutely despise. Okay, Fallen Heretic is probably my number one mob for restarting battles. They're not fun. They're not nice. Okay, I'm gonna run through this here real quick and then grab it. Okay, so lots and lots of HP. There is lots and lots of stuff that you have to do. They're really good about making you resistant to things. See, like this right here, getting a dot makes it very, very dangerous because you can't get your defense buffs up. And now I've got lots of dots. They suck. They're not cool. And every fucking turn is going to do this to you. Okay, at least I've got to a point now where I can at least get some defense up. If you don't get Deific Channel on turn 1, it's best to just turn and run on these guys. Because they can, look, I mean, that's every dot. Come on, guys. Okay, so that should be about that for that 4. It was in my pocket. Okay. Off to the next one. These guys, super easy. Yeah. Fallen Hero, Lover Lost. I would actually really like to, at some point, do some Orn farming with these guys, see what they actually provide for Orns in towers, because those are one of my favorite for world farming Orns with my current build, which is just full Orn farming gear and cactus. I've been Anguish 50 Orn farming those guys, and in the overworld it's like 500,000 Orns per Lover's Lost. Very nice. Okay, so we got our temporary offensive buffs. Let's get both of the temporary defensive buffs. See, they can be dangerous. They aren't always, though. See, this is just an unfavorable situation here. This is exactly where I'm telling you. RNG is at its lowest. Things aren't going good. Oops, not that. Come in here. Get rid of them. Try again. It's free. you're allowed to do it. It's better than dying. Word of Fortnite. Okay, some golden fortitude. Slap him. See? Easy peasy. That's what I'm talking about. That's the exact situation that I'm saying. You can jump out, try again with better RNG. Fallen deities, really not that bad. Of course, Ultima can slap pretty gosh dang good, but they rarely ever make it past Bastion. What is with the dots? Can I get a fucking break on the dots? I really don't understand what is happening. See, sometimes RNG is just like, hey, I will not do the right thing. Pet is like, was raised next to a nuclear reactor. Couple 3 arms sort of situation. These guys really ain't bad. They can surprise you though, and stay consistent on keeping you debuffed. Whilst also doing damage. They are, of course, at best tier 9, though, so I think it's tier 7 or tier 8, and then tier 9 for the green boy. Yeah. And then our Fallen Beowulf, which I do not have my temporary def buffs, so this really isn't much different. Golem's fortitude up. Now, here is a situation where it is good to use Bastion. If he doesn't kill them all, he killed them all. Okay, but Bastion will nearly stop Aerostorm for the most part. Temporary def up. Important to just keep that Ward of Fortnite. For the most part, when things work properly and you get all of your singular def up, singular resistance up, singular attack up, singular magic up, your whole lineup is just Ward of Fortnite, Golem's Fortitude, Mimic's Mischief. And that's all that's necessary. But of course, I have got most of the temporary immunes, all of the whatchamacallums. Yeah, see, that was a Bastioned Ultima, which can go worse. Can go worse. I've got some pretty good resistances in this. I've actually got a standard set of Arisen Girds, which this one I might run through just to actually go. But I have Arisen Gird leggings that have light and dark adornments, the resistant adornments that are quite nice. These guys, like I said, one of those other mobs that's super important to stay guarded with. They're all really, really high HP, so they'll get all the opportunity to run most of their codex on you. Lots of dots. Can be dangerous. Keeps that panacea on you. Yeah, I've just run into a moment of my pet is so concerned about damaging each one of them singularly that he has given up on using AoE skills, which is stupid, wasting time. I've literally restarted battles over that because my pet is just fully incapable of making the right decision. Immortal Magus, I don't believe, is one of those foresight mobs. Surprisingly enough, they have lower foresight. There is another immortal mob, though, that does have higher foresight. And normal immortal. Yes, normal immortal is another one of those ones that you want to lioness crown it up. Gives you just enough at anguish 20. Yeah, with the Arisen Rift Rogue helmet, you can quite literally as well. I have a Arisen Rift Rogue chest plate. I can show you the difference here when you're using multiple Arisen Rift Rogue pieces. At this point, you are at 10% accuracy bonus, which is applied to the pet, minus the bonded dexterity bestial bond. So this is just with 10% flat. You don't actually see any of the bonded dexterity that you would with Cactus. But it is a massive difference with the accuracy on Selene, because to say the least, Selene is clumsy. Very clumsy. And that's hitting 3 out of 4 at Mystic Feather passive. God gosh. I couldn't imagine my pet make the right decision. Pet AI is at an all-time high. Keep using immune things, please. But lots of big difference on accuracy there. Not always super important to have high pet stats. Gear really doesn't contribute to that much when you consider the 100 and some percent pet stat bonus for Bayo Uriga and all that good business. One of the reasons this is one of the most dangerous is even when you have your buffs up for defense and resistance, it still makes it through. This one I'm actually just going to use a cure-all. Because it does, in fact, actually make these monsters want to use the Blight and Miasma. Makes them want to use Miasma as opposed to offensive skills. So, banking on the mob's AI is a easy way to ensure yourself. Berserk Gorgon. Like I said, any of your Berserk mobs are going to have a higher foresight count. And it's just good to protect yourself and make sure that they don't hit you too hard. Try to stun them. It's best to not try to play with many turns on them. Try to get them taken care of as soon as possible. If you get your Ward of Orknight and Golem's Fortitude up, and your pet has not killed them, try to stun them or do something that will allow your pet to just get it done. Yeah, at a certain point, once it starts giving me some of these treasure chests and actually allowing some good business, you essentially just Golem's Fortitude, Mimics Mischief, and Bastion. Yay, crit. How important. It's going to give me 16 freaking keys before it ever gives me the proper, but I've got nothing. Near to no buffs. Yeah. The one mob that doesn't have Mystic Feather or extremely high dexterity has not been hit once. See, RNG just does its thing occasionally. See, I have actually never witnessed much issues with these guys, but they normally don't use Arcanus that often, and these guys have literally used Arcanus just about as much as they can. And my pet is just deciding not to do the right thing. Just attack, dude. They are all... Okay. Okay. Like I said, RNG, doing RNG things. I do apologize for the length of this, because when I'm pulling those 4K plus, is it 40K or 4K plus? All I know is the beginning of the rewards is a 4 for the tower shards. I already did things. Okay. But I like to kill everything. Except for the wanderers. They ain't that important. Some towers faster than other. I mean, of course, you can apply this with the standard farming technique of just doing one floor on every, or one mob on every floor. It makes it much faster. For show. Yeah. These guys, they are a potentially dangerous mob. They can have good penetration. Petrified is obviously no fun. How many stone cures do I have? 13? I'm going to go ahead and hit one. Because occasionally, he does that. Or she does that. Selene is a beast. Like I said, though, clumsy. A lot of people get Selene and are super unhappy with how inefficient it is for anguish farming and stuff like that with dexterity bonus. And I can totally make a video on anguish farming with Selene as well, because it is essentially the same concept. Make sure that you have multiple Arisen Rift Rogue pieces on. I am actually finishing a full set. I've got the legs in blacksmith right now, and I'm going to get them God Forged up and set up properly here soon. Because even with 2 pieces, the head and helm, the helm and chest, I am definitely hitting nearly the same accuracy as Cactus. And the Deific Channel buff definitely helps for survivability at Anguish 50. It's something that you would deem a necessity once you get the opportunity to see it accurate. Cursed Ornament. I got temporary all up before I got any of my defense or offensive buffs. RNG is just all backwards right now. And this is where you really start to see it, shine through, and your defense and resistance are sizable. Hey, there's our magic up, which is actually not that good. Oh, God, what was I going to do? Which one was it? It was, yeah. Yeah, screw it, honestly. As long as I can get Ward of Fortnite off. Yep, as long as I can get Ward of Fortnite off. Once you get enough of the temporary buffs, you're good. 31, we're at our halfway. As you can see, it's starting to get to the point where I can just Golem's Fortitude mimics Mischief. Well, and Crescent Fencers are quite a mob, but not the most dangerous. Like I said, it's just a lot of strategy in it, for sure. Making sure that you're not dying is probably the most important thing. Selene is a monster, and she really doesn't care if you have attack and magic buffs up. The penetration on her skills, except for Aerostorm, is really, really good, so even high anguish mobs and such are not the biggest threat. I like to see those crit. Yeah, buddy. I saw the Anubis one there. Anubis really isn't that bad of a mob. I could only imagine that there's somebody out there watching these videos just like, bro, just do the puzzles right. I do not have my foresight up yet. Like I said, I have been receiving everything except for my foresight up. Oh, I do have foresight up. Okay, never mind. When did I get that? Huh. Did I get that recently? How many I got? 2? Interesting. I feel like I've got more keys than just 2. That time I used Mimic's Mischief first because I'm not really concerned about these guys' damage. Wanted to see them doing, wanted to see Selene doing damage quicker. Another Crescent Fencer. At a certain point, you can start having a little bit more confidence in the build. And definitely trying to poke things through faster. I mean, it's just quite literally part of this tower experience is well, I now have my temporary foresight up, so I can go in with never mind, that would have been really bad, but I am fire immune now on turn 1, so that's a lot safer. Okay, so that could have been really bad, but yes, foresight, like I've been preaching this whole time, foresight is one of your danger situations. Gosh, they can be bad. Sometimes Selene just refuses to use the Daffy channel buff or the Titan's power. Chimera, one of the ones we haven't seen yet. I haven't got the opportunity to comment on these guys. Really high HP at high anguish. Not too horrible. They like dots. But definitely not one of those warning I might die situations. Oh wow, we actually get puzzle game. Two puzzle games, dude. I fucking called it. I'm getting a substantial amount of realm lore, I suppose. Hey, give me that puzzle key, dude. What the fuck? Not a bad mob. I suppose he is, let's find out what. That's, okay, so it hits for holy. Wait. Weakness, holy, yeah. Lunar strikes. Hits for holy. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Never knew. Honestly. Gosh, come on, let's get some faster mobs here. Yeehaw. Hit him with your purse. 14 stone. Oh, I will financially recover from this. Yeehaw. Nothing, man. My God. I've definitely got enough keys to get through some of the gates once we get up here. And it starts giving me 14 by 14 puzzle doors. I don't like those. I can hardly do the small ones. Yeehaw. Accuracy is nice. What are the crescent fencers, man? Odie, put these back into dungeons and stop trying to force this content upon us. I don't want to do the gate thingies, the other walk around, move your character around thingies. Okay, so we're at 40 on our last 50. God damn. Alright, so what I could do on this last 50, if I felt a little bit more comfortable, is I'm going to leave. I'm going to go to my anguish, which I know this is at anguish 20. Come on, Philip. And we're going to bump this up to anguish 25. What do we have at anguish 25? 64 plus 4 would be 68 percent. Let's do no, let's do 25. 25 is safe. Even though I shouldn't. Oh my goodness. let's see what we have on this next floor. Hey, it's solar. Cool, thank you. We haven't got these guys yet. So we're definitely getting up there at 25, 055. Yeah, one of them things is I've scaled down to 20 anguish simply for the fact that 20 anguish is kind of easy peasy when you get comfortable with this build, and you can work your way up. I was originally like testing this at like anguish 32 and getting decent results, but it is also very, very unlikely to make it to the end of a 50 floor tower without slipping up somewhere. Or RNG just being unfavorable to you. I mean, the anguish 20 at my 60 some, which 57 was where I was at within this past couple weeks. So it was late 50s. 57 was the ascension level I was at when I started doing this comfortably. So it is definitely worth it to get your ascension levels up on Beowulf if you want to partake in this whole situation. But hopefully this can be a positive note for people who are trying to accomplish this. Should I... I'm going to Panacea. Yeah, see, this is just one of those RNG ones where it's not wanting to do the right thing. He wants to just kill each one of them individually, and it's not cool. We're going to start stun darting him. God, he just gets so happy with that. Why would you do that 2 turns in a row? You can quite literally use good skills and hurt them. Okay. We're at 27 now, so we're going to run through our 30,000s. Dark Slime, not a high foresight mob. Fallen Moon Chaser, not high foresight. Just note that when you add ascension or anguish levels, you are adding foresight to your opponents. This is one that I don't think that I'm going to try to accomplish at 25 anguish. I'm going to scale it back down to 20. Quite literally is the last one too, isn't it? Yeah. See, they got me dotted before I get my defense buffs up. But, like I said, once you get to the point where you can just go directly to Golem's Fortitude Mimics Mischief, you get Strunk. Okay, we got our normal foresight up. That's about the point. When you have temporary foresight and normal foresight up, you can stop worrying about swapping gear and go through all of the mobs without them going before you. Of course, it had to happen on floor 43. Elite Kobold Lords, not mean. Super easy to negate dying. These guys are literally designed to die. They can do damage, but goodness gracious. Selene, what are you doing? What do you have planned? I kind of got bad floors for the last couple, but this is 45 yet, so nothing to be too quite worried about. So, if I'm not mistaken, the stat scaling for being higher in the tower does not add foresight, but anguish does. So, that's just that watch out for thing. It's like this entire tutorial has quite literally just been a massive foresight warning for anguish towering. And a show off of Selene. She do that thing. I still have not received a ornate bulwark from an actual Nidhogg. I got mine from end of month rewards, and it took a long time. It wasn't. It was this year. I didn't get to experience that sweet dragon damage. Succubus. Oh wow, they do. So these guys definitely do have high enough foresight. I could restart that battle actually and do a test to see if I can out foresight them with the lioness crown, but I also just want to get this done. It's an hour-long video. It's ridiculous. That's a 50-floor tower for you, though. If you want that shmoney. I haven't even really talked about what I'm receiving for rewards. I'll go ahead and run over with it this time. So 698, I've already seen in the 700s for tower shards. I'd like to see him do that. Just go through and slap as soon as possible. Definitely getting some of those dangerous mobs out of the way. 662 tower shards. There's King Maletus. That, like I said, dangerous. Don't play with fire with those guys. If you can at all avoid them, do it. These guys have no buffs or dots or anything like that, so they'll go straight to hurting you. So, like I said, at no point have I advised using anything other than Ward of Wartonite on turn 1. That's why I'm not really big on a lot of those chain shield builds for stuff like this. I can most definitely anguish farm with the celestial loot and chain shield. You get really high damage output, but like I said, I do not suggest anything that you're prioritizing doing damage over defending yourself if you're going to anguish tower farm. Come on. What is... the skill that he's even using. Okay, 759. Last floor. No, we got one more after this. And then we'll do some guardian slapping. Or titan slapping, I suppose. I don't know their names. 802 on this floor. Okay, Infernal Bear. If I'm not mistaken, I should be able to out-foresight him now. But I'm still going to, just in case. Keep that lioness crown on, just to make sure. Making sure that I stun him if he uses that buff on himself, because danger. Danger. More of these guys. Dang it. I don't know why I did that. Okay. Well, same thing. Yeehaw. Get him. I still have not got all my buffs. This is a horrible one for me, like actually showing and being like, hey, look what I can do. Morsel, right? That's what I love to see. Thank you for easing my grind. Farming at anguish should make you receive much more tower rewards, which it does, but the material yield should see more. 822. Fuck it, use a key. Water immune. It quite literally gave me everything except for the last couple buffs. Oh, I forgot. I was fire immune anyways. I could have totally just risked it for the biscuit. Hit him. Okay, there we go. 766, so you can tell it fluctuates, it varies. And now we should go, and this is Themis. Yeah, I mean, let's just go ahead and run into it. I'll just do what I normally do. 47 Ballarat, very nice, thank you. Even though I have more Ballarat, hey, attack up, you don't say. Okay, so definitely not going in here as BOA. Even though I should. No. Going as... Gonna give some cataphract. No. I'll just do it with the high damage build. Let this really hit off. Of course. Okay. Tethra, Celestial Thinblade. Celestial Thinblade has Lungs of Oceanus in it. I know this is not a super orthodox build, but it gives 80% chance or 75% chance for turn 1 Ultima Strikes. Go ahead and go on our skills here just so we can see. But yeah, pop in there. Ward of Vortonite, because we don't have those defenses anymore. Villain's Fortitude. Mimics Mischief. I don't think we need anything other than just go in, start damaging. Why am I blind? Do I have Brynhold? I don't. I am a Hydrus. Please, pet, pay attention to what you're doing. You are not doing the damage here. Fine, I'll use Deific Channel. You think you're so important, Selene. Oh, it's because it's over the... I have never seen a slower run. Oh my god, with the dots. This is unrealistic. Quite literally unrealistic. Trying to keep up. Okay, there we go. Absolutely nothing. Let's see. 43,636 there. 43,392 at the very end, after the Titan is added in. That is an hour and 12 minutes of Ornn farming with poop. And it's annoying. It's definitely one of those things where if you're trying to unlock Celestial class or something like that, you can run through, do it to it. But yeah, that there is going to give you quite a bit of tower shards. You do that a couple times, you know, get it done. Don't know if it would be a good idea for me to go through and buy all the Solarite. I know I got some upgrades coming for Solarite, but I think I'm going to wait. I'm already using primarily BOA, and I want some Hydrus things that I wanted to do with that, so... I'll go ahead and just gonna end it.